In your opinion, can and should private business play in creating value for essential human needs rather than simply maximizing profit?
Well, thank you very much, Özge, for these stimulating introductory remarks, and very warm welcome to all in this afternoon session of the Social Forum. The Addis Ababa Action Agenda includes a commitment in paragraph 37 that is guiding our discussion this afternoon. A commitment, I quote, to foster a dynamic and well-functioning business sector while protecting labor rights and environmental and health standards in accordance with relevant international standards and agreements. I believe that business enterprises have a major role in alleviating poverty, yet this role is largely unrecognized, and the full potential of their positive contribution will only be reaped if governments establish an enabling domestic proposal. Finally, is that the fight against anti-poor discrimination be enhanced in order to make employment more inclusive. I believe it is important and urgent that we move beyond a grow tax transfer approach to combating poverty.
Strengthen developing countries' capacity for self-driven development to enhance their autonomy and independence. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your insight in actually showing how, as you mentioned, technology can really be leveraged as an asset, and also reflecting on the duality, bringing in the example of e-commerce as a concrete business model. Now I would like to move on to the final speaker of today, connecting also on the narrative of action to Mr. Anand Priyadeo from India, who is the founder of the Ananda Foundation. Mr. Deo, I know you will have a presentation to the audience, but maybe after your presentation you could also reflect on two questions I would like to share with you. As the creator, so to speak, initiator of the Ananda Foundation, how do you work on helping providing financial assistance and training to rural and indigenous communities with a special focus on promoting the rights of women and girls? I know that's very much at the heart of what you do, and I find that very fascinating, because this is really, I think, a very concrete example of how we ensure that no one is left behind. And in a second point as well, I know that you have been working on employing an approach that you call the 3 Ps: peace, prosperity, and parity. If you can share with us and tell more about what that actually entails, and how that, again, is a key tool to unlock the power of business and finance for sustainable development and human rights. Thank you so much.
Respected Chair, all the excellencies, members from the civil society, and distinguished guests. My name is Anand Priyadev, and I say namaste to all of you. And also, today we are celebrating Diwali, so happy Diwali to all of you. Today I have been invited here to talk on the topic called Women Empowerment through Financial Inclusion. Before I start my topic, I must say thanks to the team who has given me this opportunity to be here, to share my thoughts, to share my opinion, and to hear out the opinion of my 10 years of journey. But sad to say, there are close to 1 billion women. They are never heard. They never take part in decision-making process because they are not empowered. They are not financially independent. And since they are not financially independent, their ideas, their values, it doesn't matter. And that was the reason I started my foundation called Ananda Foundation, with a theme where I wanted to work for women empowerment through financial inclusion. Before I move to my presentation, I would like to quote our Prime Minister, first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He said, "To awaken the people, it is the woman who must be awakened. Once she is on the move, the family moves, the village moves, the nation moves." Hence, I come from India, and even in our scriptures, in our holy books, it is written in Sanskrit, "Yatra naryaste pujante, ramante tatra devta." That means, in the society where women are respected, appreciated, and regarded, that society is bound to flourish. So that's the core concept of women empowerment we follow. We need to understand what is the significance of women empowerment, why it has become so important nowadays. Because it gives authority to women in their personal and professional life. It gives equality in society, and last, voice against violence. As per the research, it says one woman faces violence in their lifetime. So women empowerment really protects them. Empowering women, it's a collective responsibility. It's not a responsibility of one organization, one government. It's rather a collective responsibility where they should be respected and recognized. They should be involved in decision-making process, and they should be celebrated as a role models. Now, I need to explain more, and I will be talking about Ananda Foundation. The foundation, which means Ananda, it means bliss and happiness. The meaning of Ananda means bliss and happiness. And this is what I'm trying to do, is spread with the help of my foundation. I'm working with indigenous and tribal communities of India, and I'm working on 3 domains with them. First, it is empowerment of marginalized communities. Secondly, promoting financial independence and skill development. And third, improving women's hygiene and empowering tribal girls. When I talk about women's hygiene and empowering tribal girls, what does it mean? As per the research says, 73% of tribal and indigenous women, they have never used sanitary pads in their life. And that leads to several other diseases and problems. So what we did through Ananda Foundation, we have adopted close to 500 girls. We are supporting them. We are providing them sanitary pads throughout the year. And not only supporting for sanitary napkins, we are also creating awareness among them that menstruating and period is not a taboo. It's not a stigma. And that was the reason they were not going to school. So when we talk about SDG goals, whether goal 3, goal 4, goal 5 or goal 8, it gets defeated if we are not able to offer quality education, if they are not getting decent life at workplace or gender parity. So with this reason now, girls are going more and more to school. It has increased the participation in school. Secondly, I wanted to make this model more sustainable, that after a year they should be independent and they should be financially independent so that they can buy sanitary pads or other health related things for themselves. So we started working for their livelihood activities. Now they are doing bee farming, they make candles and they sell there. Secondly, these girls have been also converted or transformed as a mini banks. Now they carry micro ATMs for financial accessibility, and now they offer cash withdrawal and deposit in rural and remote areas for the people who are standing at the last mile. And against these services, they get commission. So that's also one of the ways now they are earning their livelihood. Third, the farmers, because these indigenous and tribal communities, they are mostly coming from agrarian society. They are doing farming. And these farmers do not have that much acumen where they can go in the market and they can negotiate for better pricing for their agri-inputs, agri-services. So these girls and women, now they have become like a torch bearer and change maker. They are giving last mile delivery to the farmers. Now the farmers, they don't have to go anywhere to collect the agri-inputs. It is being delivered by these women at their doorstep. Provide agri-inputs by the women, and they are also offering agri-based advisory to farmers. So somehow it has helped the farmer to reduce the input cost, and it has increased their profitability. I would like to recommend some policies for enhancing financial inclusion. I would like to say improve access to financial services, enhance financial literacy programs, provide targeted support for women entrepreneurs, and create an enabling environment for women's financing empowerment. Other than this, India has a policy where every corporate has to spend 2% of their profit on CSR. So I would like to make a point that all the organizations and the companies who are making policies and framing policy, they must incorporate women-centric policies where they can make some plans where sanitary pads and hygiene-related issues can be incorporated in their policies. Secondly, girls and women should be given period leave. In India, 2 of the states, Bihar and Kerala, they have already started giving period leaves to women. But I really encourage other states and the companies also to give this leave to the girls so that they can easily continue their job. And the last, I would like to say, right now, I am working with 500 girls in India for their women hygiene, skill development, and livelihood. Please join me, my hands in this movement for women and their financial inclusion. And I would love to take this number from 500 to 500,000 in coming years. So that's the mission of Ananda Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the floor goes to Mr. Dale.
Thank you. Hello. I just wanted to add a few things from my experience while working on ground. Like whenever we make any policies, when we make any framework, I mean, we should always make human-centric design. It should not be a generic one. So suppose I give you an example from my foundation where I'm working. I'm working with indigenous and tribal population. So I am not forcing something to do which is not very familiar to them. We should always respect their culture, their values, so that they become very inclusive. So whenever we are trying to make an intervention, they find we more inclusive and respectful towards their cultural values. So this is one learning I got from field, that whenever we work on ground, even when I was working with Grameen Foundation in Africa or in other Asian countries, we always try to interact with the local communities, try to understand their need, and based on their need, we used to design a policy. So it is one thing I seriously recommend. Secondly, I want to add one point which the Excellency from India, he has mentioned that our Prime Minister, he has added or he has started many of the policies, Mudra Yojana, Jan Dhan Yojana, and it has really contributed a lot for financial inclusion among women and other people. One of the components that has added, because in India the data is very cheap, and because of the data, digital literacy has expanded in last 2-3 years a lot among all the people. We can practice, we can send money in real time because the data is available all the way, the network connectivity is so well. So data also plays very important role in increasing digital literacy and financial inclusion. And the last thing I wanted to add, somebody asked that what is the role of AI? So in India, I am working for artificial intelligence also. The state from where I come, it's Jharkhand. And in Jharkhand, close to 18 dialects are spoken. And those dialects and languages are completely different. So right now, the organization I'm working, I'm trying to reach to the people who are standing at the last mile. I'm trying to work with the people who doesn't have formal education. But at least if they can speak their mother tongue, they can contribute for artificial intelligence through machine learning. So what we do, we first educate, we first make the machine learn, and accordingly the machine responds. So we are engaging with indigenous population, tribal population, even if they do not have formal education, but they can speak their mother tongue, native languages, and by that they can earn. So that's the other aspect of AI, which can help people to earn some extra livelihood income. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And a brief intervention at the end by Ms. Eidelkamp.
I think I'll pass because we have no time. Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. With this, we come to the end of our